Today, we're going to dive into a really simple story, but one that has a huge lesson about controlling our own emotions. It's called The Story of the Unaccepted Gift. But before we get into it, I want to ask you something. Think about it. When someone insults you, who is really in control of that pain you feel? Is it the person saying the words, or is it you? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through this. All right, so our story kicks off in this small, quiet village. But things are about to get, well, a little tense. An unexpected confrontation is just around the corner. Picture this. Buddha is just walking through the village with his disciples, minding their own business. And then, out of nowhere, this man comes rushing up to them. And let me tell you, he is not there to ask for wisdom. Nope, he is just filled with rage and starts screaming insults right at Buddha. And the things he's saying, they're just dripping with contempt. He's yelling things like, "You're a fraud, you're misleading everyone." I mean, he is holding nothing back. He's trying his absolute best to get a rise out of Buddha.
Okay, and this is where the story gets really interesting. You'd expect Buddha to get angry or defensive, right? But he does the complete opposite. Through this whole verbal beatdown, he's just completely serene. He doesn't argue, doesn't try to defend himself. He just stands there and listens to this guy's entire rant, calmly and even with a gentle smile on his face. Now, you can imagine Buddha's total calm just makes the angry man even more furious. And it's that frustration that really pushes us to the turning point of this whole encounter. The guy is just completely baffled. He's throwing everything he has at Buddha, and all he gets back is this calm smile. So finally, he just yells out in total frustration, "I'm screaming all this at you, why won't you say anything?" He just cannot wrap his head around why his anger isn't working. So instead of fighting fire with fire, Buddha does something brilliant. He just responds with a super simple, totally disarming question. He looks at the man calmly and asks, "Hey, if you bring a gift for someone and that person doesn't accept it, who does the gift belong to?"
And right there, that simple question, that's the absolute core of this entire lesson. So let's break it down and see how this one little metaphor just completely flips the whole situation on its head. So the man, he's probably a little thrown off by this weird question, right? But the logic is simple enough. He answers right away, "Well, it stays with me, of course." I mean, what else is he going to say? And that's when Buddha smiles and delivers the punchline, the real lesson. He says, "Exactly. And in the same way, I do not accept your gift of anger, so it stays with you." Wow. In that one sentence, everything changes. The insults aren't an attack anymore. They're just an offering that Buddha has politely chosen to turn down. So the logic here is actually super simple when you think about it. Let's break it down. Step 1. Someone tries to hand you their anger, their insults, whatever it is. They're offering it to you like a gift. Step 2, and this is the key part. You realize you have a choice. You can choose not to accept that gift. And that leads to step 3. Since you didn't take it, that anger has nowhere to go. It just stays with the person who tried to give it to you in the first place. And you know what? This simple explanation hits the man like a ton of bricks. It's immediate. All that rage just melts away and turns into understanding. He lowers his head, almost in shame, because he gets it in that one instant. The only person his anger was actually hurting was himself. Okay, so this isn't just some old story, right? It's actually a super practical guide for our lives today. So the big question is, how do we actually use this idea? How do we make sure our own peace stays in our own hands? The big takeaway here is just so empowering. Think about it. Someone else's anger can only actually hurt you if you let it in, if you accept it. If you just decide not to take their insults to heart, all that negativity, it stays their problem, not yours. You are literally the gatekeeper of your own inner peace. And that emotional reaction you feel, that's always a choice. It's never something you have to do. So let's circle all the way back to that first question I asked. The next time you're faced with someone else's anger or insults, just remember the story of the unaccepted gift, and ask yourself, who really owns my peace? And if this story teaches us anything, it's that the answer is always, always you.